Hey guys, this video is from our latest Rick and Johnny podcast. Make sure to check out the full podcast on blogtalkradio.com/Rick and Johnny. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know Johnny and I had fun recording it.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic.
Grass tastes bad.
Grass does taste bad,
It's
but you know what
disgusting.
was not bad? Thank God it wasn't bad.
Yeah, for you, especially for you.
Wonder Woman.
No,
Wonder
I
Woman
thank
was not
Zeus.
bad.
Thank
Yeah,
Zeus.
thank Zeus for creating Wonder Woman because it was actually a good movie. And welcome in
It's a great movie.
to the Rick and Johnny podcast. This is our kind of special podcast for the week, reviewing Wonder Woman. If you're new, sometimes we go to movies that we like to, and we go ahead and review them. So this will be our review for Wonder Woman. If you're on YouTube, hello. It is wonderful to see your faces. If you're on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, or Stitcher, thank you guys for giving us the download, giving us the listen. But Johnny, I just want to get right into this one.
Yes.
And this was a movie where if you're kind of new to it and you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're watching this, hit the pause button, go see it. We will be here for you because this is going to be spoilers.
Spoilers!
We are going to say spoilers. We will spoil things for you. This is a movie where it's happening just after. To me, it's where it was happening was during Batman v Superman, right before she goes to Bruce and was like, we need to get the Justice League together. Because at the beginning, we see the Wayne Enterprise truck bring her the picture like, hey, I got the
modern day parts of this movie,
I got the original from Lex. I hope you tell me about this one day. That's Batman basically saying, hey, I want to know about this.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to know what you are and what's going on. And the whole movie is basically that, and she basically recalls everything. So we're living
the whole memory.
We're living in a flashback, but it was to me a phenomenal movie, front to end. My only big kind of, and I'm going to get into it at the beginning, my only negative was the beginning was kind of slow.
Yeah.
I didn't get into it right away, but what were your thoughts afterwards before we get into the nitty gritty?
You know what? Are you talking about the overall?
Yeah, just overall.
I thought it was a great movie.
Without giving a grade.
Oh, we're not doing the grade till the end.
No. We will keep the we will keep how many lassos of truth that we give it until the end.
Yes. I thought overall it was a great movie. Even let's say, I do two things with movies. If I know the content, let's say all the Marvel ones, most of the Marvel ones, for example, I judge it by that, and then I also judge it by how good of a movie it would be in general. I don't know the content super well. It's Wonder Woman. I'm not the DC person like you are. So as just a movie itself, even, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, like you said, beginning's kind of slow, but what movie doesn't have that, especially an origin story? And
I mean, the tricky thing with Wonder Woman, and that's where we'll get into kind of the stuff we like, stuff we didn't like. The reason why I felt like it was a little slow was how this is the first time in a superhero movie since like Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting that date down because Iron Man 1 kind of solidified the modern day superhero movie.
Yeah, it was the start of the official superhero movies.
You get
franchises.
the movie, you get the little clip after the credits. It started all of that, what we are used to today.
Exactly.
Thank you, Marvel, even though this is a DC movie. However, with Wonder Woman, this was a very different kind of movie because usually it's, okay, that part of the story is over. You are now telling a new part of the story with a new character.
Yeah.
This was one where it was, okay, she was introduced in Batman v Superman. How do we tell her origin story? How do we get it to where that fits into the story she is already into? Because they couldn't really just say, well, you know what? We had her in Batman v Superman, but now we're going to go back to here. They needed to find a way to kind of flashback to the World War I day because that's what they were going to do because she's obviously been around longer than Batman and longer than Superman has. Like this movie takes place well before Superman even comes to Earth way before Man of Steel. So to me, that's where it was unique. This is the first time we've kind of seen a movie where the entire thing is, okay, it is a flashback. We are moving backwards, and all of this has happened in the past. And I just felt like in the beginning, kind of mixing that, okay, we're taking it from this setting and transferring it over, and then the kind of like, we got to explain where she came from. Most of the time they were on Paradise Island, I was like, when are we going to get to the good stuff?
Yeah.
When are we going to get her? How is she going to get to Earth? When is this movie really going to start picking up?
Yeah, you know what? Like we both agreed, that part has been kind of slow. We've had almost every superhero movie is in the time frame. This is actually they did a great way of transitioning from, you know what, this is the modern day part, like the first 5-minute snippet, and then so this is our actual storyline of telling you of what's actually like how this all happened. Her origin doesn't happen during Batman v Superman, during Man of Steel, any of those. It happened 1914 to 1918, somewhere in that range. We didn't really get a specific date.
Yeah.
So that's where her origin
We just
starts
know
off.
that it's during World War I.
Yes, exactly. So that's where we get her origins now. And they did a great way of transitioning back to, oh, well, this is a flashback of telling you how her origin started as a superhero.
And I think another reason why, for me, that whole kind of side of it was a little bit slow was Wonder Woman, out of all the heroes, all the DC heroes, that's like the one origin story where it's like, if you said, I'm going to quiz you on the Wonder Woman origin story, I'd be like, I'm probably going to get a couple things wrong.
Yeah,
because for
probably.
me, throughout my childhood, Wonder Woman's just been there. She's been there. She's been a part of the JLA. Really, the ones I've focused on are Batman, of course, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern. Like, those are the ones. Batman and Superman, though, are the ones that I really got nitty gritty with their backstory. Wonder Woman was kind of like, okay, she's just there and she's a part of the JLA, and this is the type of hero that she is, all the qualities that she has as a hero. And the thing with that is, maybe because a lot of people aren't, unless you're a huge Wonder Woman fan, I feel like she is the outside one with the origin story. So it's not like a Batman where it's like, yeah, we can forego this. Everyone knows this origin story. We don't need to touch it. You needed to touch that in this one. You needed the kind of Zeus being the father so that they could set up Ares as the big baddie at the end.
Exactly. Well, the big thing to me is that we all, like most of us that know at least the comics, know she's from the Mascara.
Yeah.
We know she's an Amazon, but that's like probably the extent we know.
It's just baseline knowledge.
It's baseline knowledge. Yeah, we don't know the nitty gritty of being like we don't know really that she was brought to life by clay, by Zeus, or some of us know that she served in war, like helped in World War One. I shouldn't say served. She helped in World War One, but like we don't know the details of that. I mean, we see some of it through the cartoons, a little bit through comic books here and there, but yeah, we don't know that specific stuff, which is why this was a good movie to have, to tell you like, hey, this is how everything came to light.
And the thing I found interesting was, and I'm glad you brought up the made out of clay, because when we get to the end of the movie, we kind of find out through Ares in a way that, hey, that story that your mom was telling you about you being made out of clay might not be 100% true.
Yeah.
And it might be actually, instead of your mom making you out of clay and Zeus bringing you to life, your mom's your mom and Zeus is your dad. And you're part God. That's why to me,
he may be your father, but he ain't your daddy.
You are the God. Like when she's like, no, this was the God killer. And he goes, no, you're the God killer.
Yeah.
Because she is the daughter of Zeus. And wasn't really made out of clay. That was just something that her mom told her. The one thing I really like about this movie, though, and it's the one thing I kept harping on after we walked out of that movie theater.
Yes.
It's that I went to see this movie, and the first thing I thought, and the only thing I thought, that was Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And what Jeff Johns said coming in after Batman v Superman, and everybody was upset, the big thing that everyone was saying, and he was saying, was we're going to keep it true to the characters. gonna keep it true to the characters.
Exactly.
That's what they did.
And that's what works.
And that's exactly what they did. Like, when she was on actual Earth, and I'm glad that Mark and I read Spirit of Truth now. After watching the movie, I'm glad we read Spirit of Truth for a graphic conversation, because when she was on Earth, the whole time, the same kind of struggle she was having in Spirit of Truth of like, wait, why is this happening? Why is he not helping these? She goes off on all those kind of politicians or the generals of, wait a second, you're just going to let innocent people die?
Yeah.
Like, she's not understanding the whole kind of how we work, because we are humans, and we are basically, like, you got to think of it in the philosophy terms of, we are all flawed.
Exactly.
We are flawed people. We are not gods. We do not have the same kind of attitude as a god. And she couldn't understand, wait, you're going to let people die? Or wait, you lied to him, but you're really going to take me to the, like, how does that even work? And that's what I loved, where throughout the whole movie, you got her kind of understanding how different things work, and her understanding how humans and men work.
No, that was a great part of it, because we obviously, she should know how all this stuff works. Like, she's read books on different things, but how do you
don't get that same thing unless you actually see it,
experience it? Yeah, and it's like she's never lived with humans as it is. She never lived with them, so how do you know how they interact? Which she doesn't. Which is great that they actually emulated that in the parts that weren't action or development of herself, like outside of that. So it was great that we had this these small moments of confusion in her of, wait, why are you doing that? Why is this working like that? Wait, why'd you lie to him? Wait, why are you letting this happen?
To take the sword away from her.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, this is my sword, my shield.
You have to put the sword down. Put the sword down. Like, he said it like 10 times. Yeah. Put the sword down.
And she's trying to go through the revolving door with the sword and the shield.
The confusion of the revolving door.
Didn't know how to... She's like, let me try it by myself. And then eventually she gets through it. But that was like, that's the fundamental core of it, to where I was like, wow, she really does, like, that is Wonder Woman, having done it. Because even in A Spirit of Truth, and if you have not read that or care about it, go ahead, pause, read it, come back, blah, blah, blah. But in A Spirit of Truth that we read, that was the main thing that she was going through, of like understanding, why are people like this? Why are people, because she talked to politicians and that, she talked to hostages. And it's like, why is there not that? The only difference from that to the movie was in the graphic novel, she actually went back to Themyscira, talked to her mother, talked to other people to kind of be like, well, why is this? What can we do to make them understand? And basically the point was, you can't make them understand.
No.
You can only be there to be a mod. Basically it was, you can't make them do anything. You can only be there to be the model of truth. And that's where they kind of did the same thing in Wonder Woman, where her mom gives her the line of like, what was it? Where they don't deserve you.
Yeah, exactly.
And they went more on it of I kind of felt like that little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of animosity from Wonder Woman's mother to kind of the human race, or to man in general, because she led them in the fight to free them when they were slaves.
Exactly.
So she kind of, I got that little animosity where it's like, I'm never going to like a man.
Yeah, never
a man
like
will
men.
always be wrong in my mind, and that's when she goes, they don't deserve you. Well, that's where Wonder Woman is different. Wonder Woman wants to help all people.
Everyone.
Like, even when she was walking out, she's like, oh, baby. He goes, no, we can't do that. We can't do that.
We don't just grab babies.
You can't just come up and grab a baby. And that's what I liked. There was this it was her trying to figure out, like, when they were in no man's land.
Yeah.
Even, she's like, we have to help these people. And Trevor's like, no, we got to keep going. And she basically said, screw you, buddy. I'm going to go out there and do it. And eventually it turned out being a good thing, because they were able to push up into the city and eventually take it.
Well, because the idea of no man's land is, and you see it in the movie, but you know it from history too. Yeah. It's a patch of area that it's constant firing of mortars, machine gun fire.
No one could live there.
No one can cross there. If you if a single man went out there, he's done, because it's just they have a line, 2 trenches, and the area between the 2 trenches is just constant fire at each other.
If I see someone across the way, I'm assuming he's an enemy. I'm
Exactly.
gonna shoot him.
There's snipers along the way along the line. There's men with the normal rifles. I think an M1 Grand at the time, machine guns at the time, people firing mortars, and there's no way you can, as a normal man, you can last out there for more than a few seconds.
However, Wonder Woman
with
their bracelets just blocking
Well,
them
basically
away,
being a goddess without knowing it.
with her shield.
Yeah.
Like, one of the best scenes to me was when she's just walking and they're firing. It's just like dink, dink, and she's like blocking them away. But then when she gets to the machine gun, and it's just like she's behind that shield, and it's just constant firing and firing and firing, and just watching her, like, it's pushing her back a little bit, but like you can see she stood her ground.
Exactly. Oh, I like when the mortar she sees coming down just go whack sideways.
Like a fly, just whacks it right out of the air. And it's just poof, and like goes off in the background. 10
or less feet away, she just explodes next to her. She keeps walking.
Like, that whole scene was like, wow. And then, like, the part I liked is like with Steve Trevor, where he basically goes, hey, you know what? I remember they did this. He's like, here, we're going to put this on our back. And then he goes, Diana, shield. Jumps off of it right into the sniper tower.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, that is cool. Taking something from the Amazons that he remembers seeing when the Germans stormed the beaches of Themyscira.
Yeah, as after you see that she can leap super far and you know how strong she is, yeah, that was a great way to, like, you know what? This is a tactic she knows. Let's use it real quick, guys.
Especially if she can jump all the way
up to the sniper
into the tower and just destroy it.
That was overkill right there.
One thing I forgot to say that I really did like was back when they were on Themyscira, after she had found Trevor for the first time, Steve Trevor, when the Germans kind of get to that line where it's Themyscira or where they are, when the guy, like, and actually showed it first person, which was awesome. He reaches in, whoa, why is everything all blue and shiny? Comes back out, it's night. Reaches back in, and you can actually see him, like, reach his hand through.
Yeah, no, that was great. Like,
portal.
you can see where they found, like, what makes Themyscira stay off the map.
Yeah.
That was great. I even forgot about that part because it was in just like the longboats or just like.
And then all of a sudden you just see them coming towards Themyscira.
Yeah. And then just that fight scene in general was pretty cool too. I mean,
with the the thing that I liked about it was the Amazons were like, oh, here's the bow, and like they're swinging and shooting, and it's like pop. And then they just hang.
The reality of a weapon of an era way past yours, and I mean they are skilled warriors. They did finish them off pretty well, but still, you see the
had a little bit of help.
Yeah, well, you see the mortality of what a different higher powered weapon. I guess higher power.
More advanced
weapon. Thank you. Can do to someone who's such a grace of just such skilled warriors. So. I mean, it's kind of cool to see that part, too.
I mean, even the part where, what was it? It was the shield.
Yeah.
Where she jumped off the shield, turned around, 3 arrows, and they died.
Got all 3 of them.
It was really like, and then they all died because they all went in at once.
Exactly.
1, 2, 3. But you guys got the point. There were 3 arrows that went.
As long as you saw the movie, you get what we're talking about.
And really what happened was Wonder Woman almost died there.
Yeah.
Our story was almost over right there. Because we don't know what would happen if she got shot. She's a god. So,
I mean, after all, if you look at the scene shortly after, she had that cut in her arm, and all of a sudden they take the patch.
It was healed.
Oh, it's gone. What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
But she almost got shot, and boom, had to jump in front of her
aunt
and save her. I just wanted to bounce back to that because I forgot about the going through there. But this movie was one where even at the end, it even had that one twist at the end, the big twist.
Yes.
Because throughout most of the movie, I know I was thinking, and I know you did too.
Oh, most of the movie, hell
was, Luger's probably, that's probably Ares.
Oh, yeah.
When he's popping the capsule and
it's
taking it all in.
Making him feel back to his normal godly self. That's what it seemed like.
I was like, oh, so Ares is kind of like, a little human now? Maybe He's had to take on a human form because he's here on Earth, and that's what kind of gives him his power with him and Dr. Poison.
Yep.
Biggest curveball in the world. Biggest one when...
Yeah.
After... I'll get to the point where after she stabbed him, that's when I was like... Right when she did it, I'm like, he's not Ares.
No.
I was like, I was wrong. But then in my head, I'm thinking... Who the fuck is Ares?
Yeah. No, that was confusing because it's like...
Who the fuck is Ares?
As soon as she stabbed him, like, that was way too easy. Mm-hmm. That's never that easy.
And I love how they actually showed that she stabs him and nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. And she's like, this was supposed to change. They're supposed to stop. Ares is no more.
The freak out of someone that had, like, this belief for so long in their head.
And it got shattered.
Yeah, exactly.
It got shattered.
Just everything shattered.
But then the biggest plot twist of who ended up being Ares? Who ended up? Tell him.
I don't remember his name, but it was
the British intelligence.
Yeah,
the
British
guy
intelligence
who was, like,
officer in charge of Steve
everything.
Trevor.
And he was the one that was like, hey, you know what? You guys are doing this kind of backdoor deal. I'll allow it. I won't tell anyone.
Exactly.
I'll actually help you. You can use my office to plan everything.
That's why he wanted it to happen. Because he wanted more of the war to happen.
He wanted more of the war. Plus, think of the scene when he picks up the phone and he goes, you can't do that. This is an order. You can't do that. You can't interfere. He knew
he would interfere.
With Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor's the guy where if you tell him not to do something,
he's going to
do it.
Yeah.
If you tell him don't do that, he'll be like, okay, and then do it. I mean, look at what happened when he met with all the leaders. You can't do it. All right, I won't do it. And Wonder Woman's like, how can you say no? And he goes, I'm taking you to the front lines.
Exactly.
Like, we're going to do it.
They tell him.
I just told him no.
See, he probably thinks something was off if he said, oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably would have thought something was off then.
Yeah, so that was another thing. I'm like, oh, that's why he was like, he played the character well.
He did.
Played the character, but after that whole fight scene at the end, well, it was the huge twist and then an amazing fight scene.
Oh, great.
At the end, and a huge kind of, like, I kind of feel because the fight scene was so awesome, I wasn't as sad as I should have been for Trevor when he died.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, with me, you looked over, and when he was like, I love you, it wasn't like oh my God, I'm crying, this is emotional. It was like, yes, he said it. He said it. That's all I wanted him to say.
What
was, I love
bad
you.
is that you didn't get to hear him say I love you until he was already dead.
Until he was out, yeah.
Because now she's like realizing, oh, so that's what he said to me. Because she couldn't hear him because the previous explosion. Mm-hmm. That was so...
I loved
pretty
it.
sad.
I loved it, though. But I felt like because of the fight scene and how awesome it was,
oh, yeah,
it took away from the emotional aspect.
The stab to the heart?
Me like it did. I was just more excited that he actually said I love you to Wonder Woman.
So no stab in the heart like in Logan?
No stab in the heart like in Logan. Not at all. The double stab in the heart like in Logan. But this movie, top to bottom, was exactly what I wanted from it. It's weird to say. It's weird to be sitting here right now saying I went to a DC film and I liked it.
It is weird because
they've been set up to. I've been to a DC film and I fucking hated it. That's what I'm used to saying.
It has not been the best so far.
I wasn't a fan of Suicide Squad,
and I know you hated Batman v Superman.
Margot Robbie and Will Smith. I hated BVS.
I know you did.
Can't stand BVS, and I don't mean to make this a shit show on BVS, but for those of you who are new, couldn't stand what they did to just the whole... They didn't need Batman and Superman in one movie. Lex Luthor was like, hey, let's take Lex Luthor and mix him with the Joker. It was... If I had 2 hours, I could talk your ears off about that, but I won't. We're going to keep this on to Wonder Woman.
Yes, thank you.
I loved it. I loved it top to bottom, and the thing I could not stop thinking about is usually me with movies after seeing them in theaters, I usually wait until they're on demand or on Netflix. I don't buy DVDs.
Yeah.
I don't buy actual physical copies. And when I was getting to the end of this movie, I actually thought in my head, I'm going to go buy this one. I'm going to go buy it.
Give them your money.
And the way I maybe I'm relating this because It's the same kind of type era, except it's not the same time period.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like this was like the first Captain America movie.
Kind of.
Where it was, maybe it was because it was set during a world war and it had that kind of atmosphere to it. Throughout most of it, I was like, yeah, no, I'm getting the same kind of feeling I got when I watched Cap for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is the very heroic feeling to it of your hero. But like it's kind of Steve Rogers, I should
His was
be specific.
more of a patriotic type thing.
But I'm saying it kind of like little bits of him emulate in both Wonder Woman and in Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
It's not like one character. It's like
It was both of them.
It was both of them were emulating what we got out of Captain America. By the way, no Steve's on a plane anymore.
Yeah, no Steve's on a plane. That just doesn't, especially when it's like, I'm going to go and make it freeze and then come down. No, it doesn't end well. But even that
Never ends well.
Even that played into we are going to be true to these characters.
Yeah.
Because the Diana-Steve relationship in both the comics and animated series and stuff like that is a big thing. And
Yeah,
I'm glad that they went into that. However, I wonder, after the movie, I wonder what they're going to go with. Wonder Woman, wondering what they're going to go with. But I wonder what they're going to do with is Wonder Woman going to have a love interest?
I feel like...
Is she going to get paired up with someone that's which love interest are they going to go with? Or does it maybe a descendant, kind of like the Captain America route, a descendant?
It could be the Captain America
Steve
route.
Trevor, like we had a descendant of Agent Carter.
The only issue I see with that is I don't think Steve Trevor had a descendant.
No, but I don't know what they are going to do. That was the thing where I'm like, are we going to play with the different kind of thoughts of like Dave said, when we were well, her and Batman kind of had a thing. And I'm like, well, kind of her and Superman have a little bit of a thing as well. Are they going to go more of that route, especially with how close Wonder Woman and Batman are, especially
getting the Justice League together just itself.
At the very end, and this is what I wanted to touch to kind of end it all, was what she was doing at the end.
Yeah.
I actually, after doing some research, watching some other people talk about the ending of the film, she had just okay, I just told this story in my head. That was her flying off, actually flying to go to Batman to say, we're getting the Justice League together.
Yeah, no, I kind of get that. Sounds like it makes sense, actually.
And then the Justice League, them actually getting the Justice League together is playing into Justice League that we will see in November.
Yes.
And I am totally, I am back on the bandwagon. Back on the bandwagon for DC films. I am excited. If this is the direction they're going to go, I'm excited.
Yeah,
if this is the direction that they are going to go, I am excited for DC films because my biggest kind of positive from this is they stayed true to the character.
Yeah.
It was a storyline where I didn't feel like there was too much thrown into this story.
Exactly.
Like BVS,
there's just too much stuff going on.
Way too much crap in there. Also with Suicide Squad, it was way too many. I felt like it was way too many characters. Plus, they fell into the pitfall of, hey, let's try to be like Guardians, and it ended up being like, hey, I'm trying to force this soundtrack down your throat.
That's something they probably should have not done.
Jared Leto probably wasn't the best Joker. I really didn't like that film at all. But this one stayed true to the characters.
Yes.
Had a plot line and a storyline that I could get behind and I could follow and didn't feel like it did too much. Like, even the switch from Baddie 1 to Baddie 2. Like Luger and Poison were kind of Baddie 1, and as soon as they were done, it kind of moved over into Ares, which was always kind of there. We kind of knew he was going to be
in the backgrounds at first.
But how they wrapped that into the twist really made me like it. My really only negative was kind of how slow it was at the beginning. But that was because they had to kind of explain the origin of Wonder Woman.
It's just like, honestly, people gave it to Thor, and I know some people gave it to many other movies. It was just too slow in the beginning. You kind of have to set that up, though. That's the problem. And people don't owe it. People like...
You're talking about Thor 1, right?
Yeah. People gave crap to it. And even Thor 2 a little bit. Some people gave it. It's just, there's so much explanation in the beginning. Well, you need that because not everyone knows how their stuff is set up.
If it was Batman, we wouldn't have needed it.
Not really, no.
All you would need to know is, his parents are dead. Cool.
Well, we didn't need to know it for Iron Man, for example. We just got right into it.
Yeah.
Right into the movie. Yeah, the beginning of the movie was his origin story, but it was a little bit quicker pace than that.
Even with like Captain America, I felt like that too.
Oh yeah, we actually kind of. What are you talking about? Just jumping right in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what that one is too.
How I didn't feel like that one was like, wow, when are we going to get to what? Like the thing with superhero movies that's kind of like the fine line in the sand.
Yeah.
Is there's a certain point, the longer you go before they're in the costume, to where you get that person that goes, so when are they going to get to that costume? And they start looking at their watch.
Exactly.
Because let's be honest, when we go to a superhero movie, you expect there to be some buildup, but ultimately you want to see person A that you went to see in that costume.
Yeah, that's basically the running point is like, come on, we're like slowly getting there. I want to see the costume. Second you get the costume, that's when the movie starts running in a sense.
And we got to see her in the costume right after that. I would say kind of the Act 1, which Act 1 was her on Themyscira.
Yeah, right before the end of Act 1.
Act 2 was her dealing with the human world, and then Act 3 was the big kind of
Welcome to
piece.
London.
That set piece at the ending was kind of Act 3. The party and then into the whole Ares thing was the 3 separate acts. At the end of Act 1, we got to see her because Steve Trevor looks up and it's like, bam, there's the red boot.
Exactly.
And even like her running across and and kind of climbing her way up by just slamming her hands
Fists right into the wall.
the wall just to get the sword, the shield, the lasso, and her armor. We got to see it early then to where I never had that. So when's she putting everything on? When's she putting on that costume? When do I get to see her in that? But Johnny, we have got to this point in the podcast. Let me know first your overall thoughts kind of in a general, and then for this one, how many lassos are you giving Wonder Woman?
Okay, well, my overall thoughts, great movie. Yeah, the beginning was a little slow, but what superhero movie isn't? You have to have things explained to you.
Yeah, especially with an origin story that you're not super familiar with.
People just need to drop the fact that, your origin story is going to be a little slow because you need it. Go with it. Movie was fantastic. I love the feeling of not nostalgic feeling, but retro
going
feeling.
Back in time feeling.
Back in time feeling. Gave me that same feeling as seeing, like you said, seeing Captain America the first time with both of them. Steve Trevor played so well with Wonder Woman.
Pine did a great job.
He did.
He did an amazing job. Steve Trevor.
And just the sacrifice made by Steve Trevor with the symbolism of truth, love, and justice that is Wonder Woman was just a great pairing. That I just thought was a fantastic movie. Even if it wasn't like me, even I knew nothing about superheroes.
How many lassos? 5. You're giving it a 5 out of 5.
I'll give it 5.
5 lassos out of 5. And I can't disagree. Mine's going to be 5 lassos out of 5 too. The main kind of pseudo negative that I had with it that I told you guys was that it was kind of a little slow at the beginning, but like we've kind of beat the horse dead on this one. Is you kind of have to have that.
You have to have
it. I love the story.
It just has to be accepted.
I love the action. Gal Gadot was great as Wonder Woman, just like she was in BVS.
Yes.
Pine was great as Steve Trevor. I like the chemistry between them as well. The twist at the end with Ares was that extra kind of cherry on top.
Oh, I loved it.
That made me guessing even
Armor
late.
just pulls the eye holes. That was amazing.
And I mean, come on. I made the joke to you during the movie of like, did anyone else get Elder Scrolls?
Yes.
Skyrim. I'm sorry. Skyrim running through your head. That's all I could think about. But like him kind of taking all like the metal around him and then just shink.
Yeah, just with 2 fingers, just pulls it down makes it look like a Spartan helmet.
And
it was
makes
amazing.
it looks like his helmet. And
yeah.
When it was in the flame, I was like, oh, that doesn't look so good. But after like the metal dried, it looked great. And that twist, it's one of those, when you're a superhero movie, usually it's baddie at the end, superhero wins, and that's the movie. This one was baddie at the end, superhero wins. Wait, there's a twist. What's going on? Oh, shit, there's another one.
Yep.
And then we got even more action after that. And just to see the final kind of battle of I'm going to throw all this like God lightning at you, have her absorb it into her bracelets, and then I'm going to unleash it back on you. And it was kind of like a huge laser beam going right into Ares just to kind of end.
Just kind of like the same way it was depicted that Zeus injured him in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And full circle. Lightning got you the first time. Lightning is going to kill you. This
Lightning
time,
strikes twice.
5 out of 5. And I am excited to see if Justice League can continue on this trend.
Can they hold up the same?
Just as good, just as great of a movie as Wonder Woman was. Another negative that I had that is not going to affect my score is there was nothing after the credits. I mean, I think it was you or Dave made a mention of they should have just played the Justice League trailer.
That was Dave.
Just should have played the trailer, and he's like, I would have been happy. I'm like, I would have been happy with that too.
Yeah.
Because I am excited. I am now excited for Justice League even more because Wonder Woman, I just hope it's not one of those things where it's like, well, yep, the DCU, Wonder Woman was good. Wonder Woman's a good character. She's probably the only thing from that universe that is worth saving. I hope it's not like that.
Hope not either.
I hope they're able to continue this with Justice League, Aquaman, which we are going to talk about in the Rick and Johnny podcast for the just original podcast that we have for this week. But before we wrap everything up, big guy, any final thoughts? Anything that we didn't hit from this one or anything with Justice League that you want to throw out there now that we've seen Wonder Woman?
No, I'm hoping, like you said. I mean, I'm the Marvel guy, but I still hope that DC can pull it off. Justice League will be the next one we see and see if they can pull it off again or if it was just a one-time thing.
Johnny's like, I just want to see a good movie.
That's all I want to see.
Johnny's like, I just like going to see good superhero movies. But this is where we turn it on to you guys. You guys heard us talk for, I want to say, about 30 some minutes, almost maybe 40. I want to say if our timing is good. I'm trying to do the math in my head for how long. It's about 35-minute plus. But you guys listen to us give our thoughts. This is where we turn the conversation on to you. What did you guys think? Oh, wait, shoot. Before we do that, who's your show stealer? We forgot the show stealer. Johnny, give me we gotta rewind the clock. Okay, we're back in time. Who's your show stealer?
Show stealer. I'm gonna give it.
I know you're thinking between two.
I know it's a hard choice.
I know you are. Talk to them.
My two choices are
through your decision.
My decisions.
I can see you thinking they can't.
It's Gal Gadot. Mm-hmm. It could be Pine. I can't remember the actor's name. I almost even want to say Ares. Ares did a great job too, because I did not suspect him until finally just played that cold, calculating.
And he kind of flipped the switch actor-wise too. From
exactly.
From kind of like a
friendly Brit.
Yeah, friendly Brit to the full-blown villain.
God of War. Literally God of War.
God of War.
Yeah. Honestly, it's between the three of them, and I'm still gonna probably give it to Gal Gadot because we finally get to see a full-on Wonder Woman. We get to see the confusion of her learning about the world, the passion of, hey, everyone needs help, not just I can't just stand here and go with that mascara, and the heroism of her, like running out and almost like rallying the troops of running out onto the no man's land. Like, if you guys won't do it, I'm gonna try and do it. Whether it could kill me or not, because she didn't know at that point.
Yeah. I'm totally in agreement.
Yeah.
It's got to be Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
And it's exactly what you said. The one Easter egg I will throw in there.
Throw it.
That I liked from this was the one where she goes, "This ice cream is good. Sir, you should be very proud of yourself for this ice cream." Kind of a nod back to the comics where she did the same thing. And even in Justice League War, she had a little ice cream as well. So that was something where I'm like, not only are you true to the characters, you're giving me Easter eggs that I actually know them.
Yeah.
I actually am like, oh my God, I've seen her. I can just think of her in Justice League War with the little strawberry ice cream, the little strawberry ice cream cone that she's eating. So Gal Gadot is my show stealer. Almost forgot to do that before we
did.
Wrapped everything up.
We can't forget.
Good thing my brain over here steel trap. The one that I'm already calling it right now. We already know that my show stealer for Spider-Man is going to be the Vulture. We already know that Keaton's got that all locked away. Don't do anything to kind of ruin that, but we got the show stealer. We both gave it a 5 out of 5, and now we turn it on to you guys. Let us know down below in the comment section. What did you think of Wonder Woman? Are you excited more so for Justice League if you liked it? What are you thinking about Justice League now if you didn't like Wonder Woman? And let us know everything that you liked, what you didn't like. Continue the conversation down below in the comment section. Make sure to check out our regular Rick and Johnny podcast this week, talking about Josh Gad maybe being the Penguin. Going to be talking New Mutants plot. Going to be talking about Aquaman. It's going to be a great show. Check that one out this week as well. I want to thank you guys for checking out the Rick and Johnny podcast special review video for this week. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Thank you everyone for watching the Rick and Johnny podcast. Click right here to watch another squanchy video, and let's get rickety wrecked!